All right, this is my initial reaction on the body ritual among the Nakarima. And this is a comparison to American culture, so-called comparison. It seems to be a little excerpt or reading within a larger book. And what I basically got off it initially is that it's a very superficial culture. Their culture is extremely centered around taking care of themselves and doing practices and rituals within their homes and within their communities that I would say enhance their physical and mental well-being. And they don't like their body. They think their body is disgusting, and they have these potions, these shrines in their rooms where there's potions, and there's these medicine men that make these potions. And honestly, when I think about it, I would compare it. I would look at it as probably the medicine industry in America, or the healthcare industry in America, and all the health things that Americans do to try to enhance their lives, whether it's physical fitness or attractiveness. And then it just got really weird. As far as like going into the big temple, or they started something with an L, and there was like death and like a lot of just ritual and like communal practices, which I think we subconsciously don't realize that we probably fall into as Americans, that probably look weird to other cultures from the outside, which I'm about to fall into an example with that right now. Okay, so next I will talk about a communication pattern that takes place within the United States that is not necessarily maybe normal to an outside observer. And the example that I will be using is small talk. When we just see somebody on the street, or see somebody that we know, we haven't seen in a while, go up to them. First thing you say is, oh, how's your day? How's your day been? Oh, it's been good. Like this weather, you enjoying this weather? How's the weather this week? Oh, you see that construction over on 80th? Or, just small talk, just genuine, like small talk like that about stuff that may not seem important from an outside perspective. The small talk may not seem important at all. It may seem like a waste of time, and just like honestly weird and bizarre, because there's no genuine deep answer being given and no deep conversation being had. It's just conversation that might seem pointless to somebody from an outside perspective, but from an American perspective, I would say from United States perspective, it seems inviting, and kind of a little bit of a warmth and a little bit of friendliness and neighborly, especially around the Midwest, and I would say like generally nicer parts of the United States where people are just friendlier. I think that it upholds those values, American values of being a neighborly human being, and just like overall pleasant. And I think it encourages those, by just kind of the general acknowledgement that we can find happiness and communal happiness throughout these common events that occur throughout the whole entire community, and that it's not just a waste of time, or it's not just something to gloss over, check out the checklist when you're trying to introduce yourself to somebody or talk to somebody. But I could totally see how from an outside perspective it would be skewed, and you would be kind of somewhat concerned and of to what is going on within small talk. I will say small talk has definitely changed over time within America. In the 17th, 18th centuries, it was more of just a politeness, more of a formality. You would go up to somebody and say, "How do you do?" or how are you doing, good sir?" or something along those lines. And it's more of just a formality of like, oh, I kind of have to say this just because it's the culture. Like, it's something that you kind of just have to say when you see somebody out of formalness, because everything was so fancy back then. And I would say after like probably like within the 50s and the 60s and the 19th century, it definitely moved to probably more like friendliness and just a more casual conversation. And over time, in small talk, we've kind of grown from more formalness all the way to just super casual. And then today you see it in the form of texting and in calling, and just texting like hey, or like just like hey or hello or what you doing or WYD. Like, it's gone from super formal to super casual That's what I would have to say that the small talk has gone from throughout history. I would say that outside of the maybe aesthetic of the formalness that has been mostly beneficial to the United States, that the small talk has been an evolution from formal to more casual and friendly. I would say that it definitely promotes more social connection. Like you are kind of putting, yourself forward as more of a friend. Like I would like to talk to you, not so much of a I'm going to give you this generic answer of a formality that I have to give to you. I would say that definitely helps. It definitely has allowed more modern, like it's adapted to the modern technologies of today, with the texting, with the phones. I would say you reach somebody a lot more often, so it's gonna be more casual, which is a good thing because we've come upon a more casual way of small talk. And then I will lastly say that MIT's International Students Office say that small talk is a good tool to interact with others, and it builds bridges between individuals that may have otherwise had unfinished relationships or just diminishing relationships. Basically, gives an opportunity to people to grow in community, and I would 100% agree.